Hello and welcome to Quaint and Cozy KC Season 2, Episode 6. Now I'm going to just move this a little bit over here. There you go, so you can't see my monitor so much. There we go. So I am here and it's not going to be a super long podcast today because I actually have Episode 7 is going to be an interview with the owner and creator of the NKC Pilates. So we're going to be talking to Abby. And I had so much fun doing that interview, and we talked about, her Pilates practice and her studio and, how, what made it unique. And then we got into the heart of quaint and cozy things around the Kansas City area. And she is kind of like a transplant here. So it's always good, I think, to get the perspective of someone who didn't grow up around here or maybe hadn't lived here for a very long time. So again, it's very interesting interview, and I'm definitely when I get a chance, she coming on back, y'all. I'm gonna ask her to come back because we were really hitting it off, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gave her a time limit for the interview because we're both busy people, and I did not want to stop talking. I was like, oh my gosh, we're having so much fun. It was like kind of hanging out on a girls' night. So you guys are gonna enjoy the interview as well, and that's gonna be coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it. I'm gonna drop this episode on YouTube, and then I'm gonna drop her episode on Spotify. I can't decide if I want to put it on YouTube or not. I'll try to figure out whether or not to do that at first. Because sometimes, with things, it's going to be a little bit more complicated because we did not do video for it. So I think there's some things I have to tweak in order to do that. The last time I tried to do a Zoom call, upload a Zoom was a few years ago. So maybe YouTube has changed, how you do things. I will soon find out. And but I don't want to talk all about technology. I want to talk about today. And if you were watching my live earlier today, and if you are one of my YouTube people and you happen to see it, you're like, girl, what was going on? Well, first of all, you're going to notice that I changed out of my Miss Ernestine outfit. I had on the best Miss Ernestine outfit. It was like this cute red dress from the TikTok shop, and it had polka dots, white polka dots. And I had my big faux pearl choker and my matching faux pearl headband. And I had my hair kind of back, and I was having so much fun with it. And of course, I had my house slippers on because I am not walking around on heels on a tile floor trying to cook and move around. That's not going to happen. I'll tell you that when I first started doing these videos years ago, I actually was kind of dressing up and having the heels. And then what would happen, it would be fine if I had something where you just had to stir, chop, and that was it. But I had something where I had to move and around and go around the kitchen, and that's just an asking to trip. And I actually tripped in one of those videos that I did. That's when I did Facebook Lives from my my personal Facebook. This is years ago, and I almost tripped in the tile because of the way my heels were. And I was like, that can't be my life. I can't be breaking my leg on camera, and then what the heck? I'm not doing all that. That's too much. So now, I've got on my really comfy slippers. So I'll dress up here. It's I'll party right here. And then it's business on, or comfy on the feet, because I'm not, like I said, teetering around in my kitchen. Now, in real life, I might go out and rock some heels, but not in my kitchen, not trying to run around. So last week, as you know, my taste tester, I did my version of a Kansas City hot dish, and with the tater tots and the hamburger and mushrooms and onions, and then I did lemon cakes, and I some lemon donut pastries, and I put the strawberry rhubarb preserves that he had brought back from a trip up north, and I think he might have gotten them in Iowa. Anyway, so I fixed that all up, and the dessert got a really good review. However, the hot dish, it was good but a little dry, and I think what I'm going to be doing with that, because I don't like mushy things with potatoes. That's just my personal thing. And I understand why people do it in Minnesota, because it's cold, right? You're going to do that when it's cold. But okay, I'm in Kansas City, and it's like summer. So I wanted to kind of do a take on that without giving you the whole full comfort thing. But I think next time, and I'm going to make this again, I have to redeem myself. What the heck? When I finish with the ingredients, I'm going to put a little vegetable broth in there after I've kind of cooked up the ingredients. I'm going to do a little bit of a vegetable broth as it gets closer. I'm not going to wait till the end because I don't want to scorch the food and have it be weird. But I am going to in the middle of it as it's cooking, just put a little bit in, maybe a little half cup of like a vegetable, like a non-sodium vegetable broth. And I think that's going to help to make, again, add some moisture to it, but also maybe flavor it a little bit as well, add an additional kind of flavor profile. Because it's true, like sometimes when you're cooking things like that and it's supposed to be like hearty and comforting, you do kind of want a little bit of like, you don't just want it to be like again, I didn't think it was super dry, but you know, I kind of served it more as a dry thing, and then you put it on top of the tater tots. But the tater tots are crunchy, so yes, if you're mixing it together and being authentic, it is going to be dry. So I made a note to get some vegetable broth the next time I make it and pour it in there. So now, for this week, what I did was, if you watch the live or you're going to watch it on YouTube, I'm doing, I made a really light chicken marinade. And because I'm doing drumsticks, I'm baking some drumsticks. They're baking as we speak. They'll probably be done by the time I'm off, sign off for this podcast for today. But I'm doing that. And then I used basil. I used lemon juice. I used smoked paprika, and then regular, like the Hungarian kind of paprika, like a heavier one. And then I did, I think black pepper, if I haven't named that again already. And I just did it more like a glaze. And it's baking, and then I did just green beans, and I think I threw a little bit of pepper on those green beans, and then I got some chicken vermicelli rice, and I got that from I think Aldi's or something like that, and I thought I had Spanish rice, but I was wrong. I think I cooked that maybe last month or something like that. And it's kind of, because I'm shelf cooking, so whatever's in my pantry, whatever's in my shelf is what I'm cooking, and so I'm like, oh wow, I think, but I'm gonna make it work. And so you're going to have the chicken drumstick on the bed of rice with the green beans kind of on the side. And then for the kind of dessert, the sweet treat, I should say, I went and they had those chocolate chip muffins, the mixed thing on sale. Now, could I have made this from scratch? Yes. Was I going to do that? No. Because I have a lot going on. And anytime you're baking stuff like that, you really have to pay attention. Versus my instant where I just put it in there, I kind of whisked it around, and then I was able to kind of put it into the cups. And I haven't used baking cups in a very long time. I forget that I have them, and I think it's because I've got these different kinds of baking pans. Like it used to be, I baked a cake, I baked cupcakes. That was it. I needed the liners or whatever. Now, the way they have the pans, I can take that mix, I can put that in a donut pan if I were so inclined. I can put that in a cake pop pan. There's all kinds of things that I can do, like squares. There's all kinds of things that I can do. And so now I'm I rarely use them, but I feel like it's still always good to have baking cups around, because sometimes you might be using another ingredient. Like for example, if I'm doing something where I know I'm gonna need to use the sand, like the green sand that you have, and kind of put it on top of frosting or whipped cream or something like that, then I use those baking cups. If I've got something that I want to roll, I frosted it and I kind of want to roll it in something, I'll use those baking cups, because that kind of helps me to kind of contain the mess, but I use the bigger ones for that. And then the next thing I am going to do is next week, I'm already thinking about it. Oh, it was chocolate chip muffins, but as a sweet treat. But next week I'm already kind of planning that. And I'm not going to try to redeem myself with the hot dish. I think I need to have a couple more weeks, because my taste test thing is only from 6 to 8 weeks. So it's going to end the week of August 20th. I think the Sunday after, I'm not even sure what date August 20th is, but the Sunday after it's going to end. And then I'll start a new cycle with a new taste tester and everything like that. And I'm really excited about that, and I'll kind of focus on a different, because right now it's Midwest, but I'm going to focus on kind of a different genre of cooking, just to kind of, and it's going to probably be a little bit harder, and that's okay. I'm definitely up for the challenge. I'm going to be excited for that. I love to kind of, as we get closer to fall, I know it's not the F word yet, but still, I'm going to really be trying to up that comfort food game. So next week, I think what I'm going to do is I might go back to doing, I'm thinking about doing a miso soup with the vermicelli, with the rice noodles, I should say, as more of a light kind of brothy kind of thing, do some lemon ginger in there, And then, and that, again, that's a nice little snack that you can kind of have. It's like it's really late and maybe you got out of work late and stuff and you want to eat something, but you don't want to eat a lot. I'm going to do that. And then I'm also going to do a snack plate. So it's kind of going to be kind of like a snack plate situation there too, like a little mini snack plate. And then I'll probably go ahead and do some kind of, I'm trying to think if I want to do some kind of beef with that. I could probably, put some beef together with that. And that might be something that I do. And again, I also look at the prices of what's on sale. So we'll see. It might be that I'm doing some kind of chicken, like a chicken dish. We don't know, but that's kind of what I'm thinking of. Just because my taste tester, I've been hitting him with some serious potatoes. So I'm like, let me back off from the potatoes. And so I'm trying to kind of like maybe wait a couple more weeks before I integrate potatoes in there. I might do more, next week I might do more of a salad. I guess I could do like salad and then do the strips of meat and then, give the option of putting that in there. I'm just brainstorming right now, like because I'm going to play this back so I can, kind of remember what I said. Now getting to it, Aunt Lainie's Kitchen. I debuted it yesterday. Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry that I'm not, I see these people have Jamie and Cookie and Madison. Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry. I haven't really been looking up because I'm on TikTok Live. So the, what I was going to say is Aunt Lainie's Kitchen. It has debuted yesterday. And so what I've done, I'm doing something kind of unusual. I'm kind of doing something super old school is I'm taking an episode. I've got 3 segments. The first segment is me talking, like doing an introduction, kind of, getting some food stuff in about Kansas City, my memories, all that stuff. And then I go to the first interview and then I go to the second interview. So it's broken up in 3 segments. My segment's probably going to be about 7 to 8, 9 minutes. Then the other segments are going to be about 15 to 20 minutes each. Because when I was thinking about it, when I do this podcast, I don't think, I'm just talking. This is like chatting. I'm like, oh, hey, it's like a catch up. Hey, girl, hey. But with that, that's a little bit more different. That's more interview driven. And again, I'm always welcoming to Quaint and Cozy creators that want to talk and everything. We'll do that too. But I thought that because I can, I've got updates to give people, I didn't want to, with Quaint and Cozy KC, to do like, okay, my segment is 40 minutes and here's this little 15-minute, 20-minute interview. I'm like, no, let's just break that into a different episode. Because I don't know about you, but so much is going on in my life, really good things, a lot. I'm just running. I don't have the capacity to listen to a 45-minute podcast straight through. Because I'm like, okay, I get a good 15 minutes, maybe 20. And then after that, it's like, okay, catch can. But if I can do these segments where it's like 15 minutes, it's kind of like on my blog, Quaint and Cozy KC, it's like a quick bite. Something like that. It's going to be more palatable and it's more palatable to me as a listener. So I'm kind of experimenting with that. And also I've been told that it is going to, like Aunt Lainie's Kitchen, this first episode, the segments are going to be on Echo Radio, and that's on KKFI 90.1. It's also on Spotify. You can listen to it now, but if you're someone who's like in your car and you're like, oh, you like to listen to the terrestrial radio or whatever, then you will appreciate that it is on KKFI 90.1 this Monday at 6 p.m. So I'm excited to listen to it. Obviously, I had to listen to it to kind of, see the content and everything, but I'm going to be excited to listen to it on the radio. And so crazy saying radio. So I'm very excited about that. I did my introduction, then I spoke with the KCS Coffee Shop Instagram account. Those folks, Troy and Vanessa Apostle, and Troy is also a member of the local KC band called Snafu. It's a really good time if you're ever out and about. I don't know when they're playing shows next, but it's always a good time. They play a lot of 80s and 90s covers, and it's fun. It's like family friendly fun. It's a lot of fun, I think, to go there and go to some of the places they play and just hang out and the spouses and family of the band members, they have like this long table that they have, and everyone's chatting and catching up and everything like that. It's just, to me, it's a really good time. So then I talked to Kate Deacon from the Mission Market. And in my introduction, I kind of tell everybody my connection with the Mission Market and everything like that. And then, it's a small connection, but it's a connection nonetheless. And so that's kind of how I'm doing it, the segments. And we'll see. So far, a couple people have kind of given me props for doing the segments that way. Like, oh, hey, I kind of do like it. Because on Spotify, you'll play it and then it'll go to the most current one. So, the most current one will be at the top. But if you start at like episode 1, segment 1, and then segment 2, segment 3, it'll play like that. It should, anyway, play like that. So this is a very exciting time. And I've got more interviews. I interviewed some other people as well for this. I have interviewed the Ivanhoe Farmers Market, and I think part of this, one of their segment, the segment that I did, part of it might go up on the KKFI, and the other part I just might do straight Quaint and Cozy KC. I just have to kind of see how I want to do it. I'm kind of leaning towards doing that one on Quaint and Cozy KC, and then interviewing the Ivanhoe Farmers Market folks again, just like on a different topic, just because I was like kind of listening to it. I'm like, you know what? I love this for Quaint and Cozy KC. So I've got like a general topic for the KKFI portion of it. So again, fingers crossed, and I got to listen to it again as I say this, and then you'll get to hear that as well pretty soon. And then tomorrow I'm speaking with a couple, Rebecca and Johnny, and they're going to tell me how they met and how it was food related, because they're the foodies in my timeline, and everybody has a foodie on their Instagram or Facebook or whatever you kind of follow, TikTok timeline, where you're like, dang, these people don't sleep. They are always out. They're cooking, they're making things, they're traveling, they're doing these really cool things and having these great food adventures. Those are the people that will, I think, I picture them as the people that ping you at like 3 o'clock on a Saturday, like, hey, tonight at like, 5 o'clock, we're going to this food truck, or we're going to this pop-up, and we have an extra ticket. Do you want to come? And it's like, oh, sure. And then it's going to be some amazing random food genre that you didn't even think about or even think that you needed to try, and then here you are trying it. They're those kind of people. So that's kind of like when I was coming up with this show, I kind of had two visions in mind. Obviously Kansas City, food memories, but also I thought about grandmas, and then I thought about like the foodies. Like, those are my people. I'm like, yeah, those are the people that's my audience, right? Grandmas and foodies. And so I'm really excited to talk to them tomorrow, and that will post in the next maybe couple of weeks. And I've got a schedule. I've got another farmers market scheduled, and I'm working to get more farmers market people on here, but it's just a busy time for them. So, and it's going to be National Farmers Market Week, I think the first or second week of August. So maybe we'll get more people on there then. And then I've got people that are asking me in my inbox, like, hey, how can I get signed up for this? And I'm going to, if you're in the Kansas City area, I'm actually going to make an announcement on one of the groups that I'm in about being a guest on either Quaint and Cozy KC or the Aunt Lainie's Kitchen. And so because I'm doing Aunt Lainie's Kitchen, I do segments with KKFI at times. I have to make sure that I'm following their regulations and what the things that they require, just because with their license. So that's why the interviews might sound a little bit more casual on Quaint and Cozy KC and a little bit more formal on Aunt Lainie's Kitchen. That's just kind of like the reason why. That's why I felt the need to do 2 podcasts instead of just doing 1 podcast, because that gave me like the leeway to kind of have more less formal conversations with folks. And so yes, a very exciting time. And I was telling someone, just 5 years ago, I was trying to do Facebook cooking videos. I almost caught myself on fire a couple times. Then oh my gosh, I had stuff spill on camera. It was just a lot. I tripped. I almost tripped, and no, I actually think I did trip and didn't fall. It was a lot going on, and now here I am. I'm doing like a food podcast. I'm cooking on camera, and look, am I Emerald? No. Am I Food Network ready yet? No, not at all. But I do feel really comfortable talking to people, and I do feel comfortable like showing what I know and not being so self-conscious. Like, well, I've been cooking for a couple decades, maybe 3 decades, but at the same time, I didn't, go to culinary school, so I'm not sure. I don't want to be too confident about this, because someone will say to me, oh, but you didn't even go to culinary school. What do you know? And it's like, but, so yeah, I don't have those fears anymore like I once did. So, it's like, hey, if I don't know something and someone messaged me like, actually, girl, you need to not use so much rosemary, you're drying your stuff out, then I'm like, okay, cool, thanks for letting me know. And I'll do some research and see, hey, what else can I use besides that's going to give me the rosemary kind of feel without that drying things out. So I've definitely come a long way in my confidence level when it has to do with that. Okay, and then so today, because I had to change my I'm doing the taste tester thing today. I'm delivering things today because I've got some people to see in the Johnson County side of Kansas City, and I didn't want to have to come all the way back up north. So I'm gonna, from probably about 1:30 to maybe 8 o'clock, I'll be zipping around Johnson County and exploring places, because I realized there's so many places in Johnson County that I didn't get to go to before I moved. And then I moved maybe a year before the pandemic, and I was like, I'm gonna go. And then the pandemic hit, and it's like, I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, I kind of have some places on my list that I want to explore in Johnson County. So I'm very excited about that. But so I wanted to go to the QCKC farmers market, but I'm going to push that off, I think, until next week. And then there's also the Leavenworth farmers market that I'll be attending as well. So I want to hit more of the farmers markets that I haven't gone to. And then I think there's one in Harrisonville. I mean, again, there's all these cool places. And I always feel like, gosh, I'm running out of time because things are seasonal. So, you're pumping your arms, you're trying to get to every place. So I'm just kind of trying to slow down a little bit. It's like, I'm going to get through there. It's only July, even though July is just speeding by. I'm going to get there. I'm going to hit the things that I need to hit. And I definitely want to hit the city market. But that going to the city market is a very touristy thing. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to be mentally prepared and, go really early and just start walking. And because I never seem to be able to get inside the city market. I haven't been inside the city market, the actual that place where everyone's in. I haven't been inside there in a few years because it's always packed. Even when I get there, I'm getting here at 9 and it's packed. You're like, oh, okay. So that's on my list for this summer because I keep putting it off. I'm going to do it. And then it's like a hailstorm or something. I'm like, not this week. So yeah, that's on my list. That is a no negotiation there. That is I gotta go this year because it's getting kind of ridiculous. Okay, I don't think I have anything else. I'm gonna be out and about today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be doing KKFI the fundraising. So I'll be there. I'm gonna interview Rebecca and Johnny, and then I'm gonna go to the KKFI funding and answer the phones and everything like that. And so I'll be there for the majority of Sunday afternoon. And then I'll be interviewing on, I think I've got an interview on Monday or Tuesday. I have to go again, look at that, make sure I've got everything together. And so yeah, and then I'll just be, if you see me putting things on blast, hey, come be on my podcast. I just want to make sure that I get I'm getting people, but I want to make sure I get a nice cross-section of people. I don't want to be leaning towards, oh my gosh, I just talked to farmers markets, or oh my gosh, I just talked to foodies. I just talked to grandmas, although grandmas are pretty awesome. So that wouldn't be so bad. But, I want to make sure I'm getting a nice cross-section of folks coming on my podcast. And I'm also going to be dropping my weekly blog. When I say dropping, I'm going to be posting, it's a better way to say it. I'm going to be posting my weekly blog, Quaint and Cozy KC, and I actually do have a website for Aunt Lainie's Kitchen. But on the website for Aunt Lainie's Kitchen, I'm just going to be putting the podcast on there. I'm not going to be writing anything else. I'm just dropping links, and then I'm rolling on. And speaking of rolling on, I'm actually going to go ahead and roll on and take the chicken out and get ready to meet my taste tester. I'll be taking some pictures, and then I'm going to get ready to meet my taste tester. And then it's off to Johnson County for me to explore and, run some errands that are there and then explore. And I'm super excited about that. You guys take care, and I will talk to you soon.